Where the hell is this coming from? The plural.
Are you watching Letterkenny at all?
No,
Oh.
I don't know where this is coming from. It's very strange.
There's a lot of plurals in Letterkenny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's odd. Anyhow, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like my own little lingo. Subscribes. Make sure you subscribe, yo. Anyhow, the thing is, you got to like and subscribe and pass it around and do all those things. This is fascinating. I've got a thing. It's moved over into. Okay, so this is a better way of explaining it. When you mow a lawn, and men, you understand what I'm talking about, and maybe some of you women do too. But when you mow a lawn, there is extreme satisfaction in having done so. The mowing itself is whatever. It can be cathartic at times. I tend to listen to podcasts while I'm doing it. But anyhow, the point would be afterwards, you stand out there. It's a cliche. It's a meme. People use it all the time. The way that we stand tall, proud, as if we had just conquered a country. And we're looking across the landscape in celebration of our achievement, right? One of the things that is satisfying about it is obviously you can see that the time put in, the toil, the effort, all of it that you've done, there is a clear result. This is what we wrought. This is what we did. And that's very satisfying. And in that way, I think most men, if asked to do chores around the house, would tell you, I also like to vacuum if you have a carpet. Now, we went all hardwood, so there's very little carpet in my house anymore.
It's the only way to go.
Oh, you got a lot of jokes there. But, when I had nothing but carpet, I would volunteer when my wife would say, this weekend, we're getting it together. The house has gotten a little messy. Let's get it together. You got some things out in the garage. You got to clean up. You got to do, what do you want to do? Do you want the bathroom or do you want to vacuum? I'm vacuuming. I got the vacuuming. You get after that bathroom all day long. If you want, I'll get this vacuuming done. And I liked it. I would go out and get the scented carpet freshener and all that.
Love my carpet.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many different types, but I would do that. But I would vacuum, and I'd get the same sort of satisfaction from having vacuum that I get from mowing the lawn. You stand and you gaze upon your successes. I now have seen, as an aside, just happened this morning. I really can't get things done if there's a dish in the sink anymore.
Really?
Can you believe it?
Not a singular dish.
Now, this is a guy. If there are people listening to this show that knew me in college, or God forbid, even before that, you would be floored to hear that, because I wasn't the cleanest roommate. Now, I didn't infringe upon your space with my filth, but yeah, it was pretty messy.
Well, you infringed upon the common areas with the filth, I'm sure.
To some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, I was always respectful for that. Like if one of my roommates were to come in and be like, "What the hell?" and that was mostly my stuff, I'd get that cleaned up. I'm not an ass in that way.
You pile it up and move it to the corner.
Yeah, it's off your side now. What do you care?
Sit down. The futon's open.
No. So, yeah. But now that's what's happened to me. There it is. I have to have, if I'm walking around and I look over and one of the kids has left the dish in there and it's not cleaned, it's not put away. Like I do the once over real quick before I put it in the dishwasher, always. But it's not hard. I've tried to explain this. We got to do a once over, and there it is. And so that's what happened. I ended up
a little rinsey rinse.
I have to. I can't walk past the kitchen anymore without a glance. It's happened to me now. And then I look upon what I've done with the same sort of satisfaction. You got to be kidding me.
So you walk out of there with a Tiger fist pump, like a Thursday fist pump, like you just made a good
par putt. Solid, all right, we're all right.
Par putt
because I left the house to come to the studio to do the show, and one of the things that I thought about when I got in the car was that I was really pleased that the sink was solid. Man, that's not true.
I'm looking it up now.
I just found out. Oh, damn it, man.
It is.
It is true. I see it. Ah, come on. That is, listen, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. That's the news we're reacting to. 67 years old. He's passed away. I think it might have been whatever the cigarette medication he took?
Chantix. Yeah.
Remember the video I showed you with the Chantix?
Yes. Well, in college, real quick, there was a study on Chantix. I was in health economics and how it made people suicidal. Now, I hope that's not what happened to Ray here.
Oh, no, I'd like to think that's
but
not
it
what
was
happened.
it was
I would
pretty
think
well proven.
hard drinking and smoking for
Probably
years.
so. His
Yeah.
voice would indicate that that's the path he went.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't there's a little slice of life in there in Goodfellas, the pack, hour and a half of the movie that went an hour too long. Yeah.
Well, it's a shame. Obviously everybody's immediately going to rightfully cite Goodfellas with Ray Liotta. Been in a lot of very good films beyond
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. But Copland. He's great in Copland.
Yeah, he sure is.
It's such a good scene in the bar.
Again, guys had a rough go.
That seemed to mirror, in reality, probably his existence, did it not? Like Copland, that character was so well played. I'm like, had some rough times with the ladies, might have committed insurance fraud, drank heavily on a Wednesday at noon, smoked nonstop. That seemed like a Ray Liotta existence.
Yeah. Also, it wasn't necessarily his fault, but his role in the Sopranos movie, like,
yeah,
he's a twin, like for real. What are we doing here?
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. But hey, Henry Hill, Goodfellas, all time, doff the cap, well done.
Flick a cigarette butt for him,
man. Karen. That was always my favorite, just the way he said it. When she dumps the cocaine, how could you do that? And he's so desperate. And I remember laughing at the absurdity, but also having empathy with, he wasn't wrong. Like the guy is screaming at the top of his lungs about her dumping bags of cocaine out as the cops enter their premises. And yet you're like, he's right, Karen. What are you doing? You could have hit. That's worth a lot of money. You guys you got real financial difficulties now. What are we going to do without this cocaine? That's the start of, like, when you write a character that is so flawed, so broken, involved in all the wrong things. We now do it all the time. But those are the anti-heroes that you love.
Yeah, if in my ranking, listen, he just passed away, so I'm not going to rag on him. But yeah.
No, you don't have to love every element of that movie or whatever else. His character, he's awesome in that movie.
Oh yes, there's no doubt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tour de force, you might say.
Yeah.
Also, the fear laughter. Everybody makes fun of that laughter, but that's because he's fearing for his life as he's laughing.
And it's a good fear laughter. Yeah. You're kind of like, oh, you captured it.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're all uncomfortable in the
because
moment.
He's uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's
Joe Pesci does not mess around.
George Carlin bit. Do you remember that? He prayed to the God of Joe Pesci.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it's one of the great Carlin bits of all time.
Well. That's my pregame before the Rangers game tonight. Little routine.
Yeah, it's really good. He's talking. He gets into religion and he's like, I pray to the God of Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci gets things done. It's a great bit. Hey, Florida State was good yesterday playing baseball. I know, right? Can you believe it? How about that? They weren't just good. They beat that ass. Run ruled Virginia.
Right, yeah. The run rule is only available in the tournament such as that.
Tournament. First time Virginia, the Who's have been run ruled since 2006, everybody. You don't just run rule Virginia in the ACC tournament like we did. It's been a long time, buddy. I think the run rule is ridiculous. We are grown-ups. These are men. I don't care if time is of the essence. If you're going to be on the wrong end of a 33-3 beating, that's the beating you're going to take. We're not run ruling nothing. Yeah. People can score 10 runs in an inning. It happens. Hell, it just happened to the Pirates the other night.
Fair enough. Given the way we manage the bullpen sometimes, though, it saves us an inning. There you go. Or two.
I'm pleased. Yeah. I'm very pleased. That's right. He was the dad in Blow. He was so disappointed. He was so
not
sad.
Mike Martin Jr. Not Mike Martin Jr.
No, Ray Liotta. I'm going to keep coming back to this. Died in his sleep. Well, yes.
He was also in Hannibal.
He's in a gazillion things.
Yeah,
actually.
The sequel to which was not as good.
It was terrible. When you flip around, you'll find you're like, oh, there's Ray Liotta's in this, and a lot of times you're like, Ray was hard up for some cash.
Yep.
Ray's in this, is he?
To my generation, one of his most famous roles was as Tommy Vercetti in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. He was
And
the voiceover.
funny as hell.
Oh,
The whole thing is funny.
That whole video game's
Grand Theft
amazing.
Auto rules.
Yeah.
Never gets old. He's in unlawful entry. We could keep going. That, by the way, that movie title is.
He had a bit part in Empire Strikes Back. That's not true.
That's not true at all. Yeah. Yeah. The heart can take only so much abuse is Life Spectator's observation. Now, of course, none of us actually knowing Ray Liotta from Adam as the person, but those Chantix commercials,
and the spoofs thereof.
Oh, yeah. Well, my guy online is the best, but yeah, the Chantix commercials are. It's not a game we play anymore on the show. It's kind of moved into the realm of uncouth. Probably always was, but people are so sensitive anymore, and I do enough things to get myself in trouble on here or say enough things. But back in the day on the JCS, we had death pools. I'm not going to run from it. And a lot of times you'd look for, you wanted something tangible. You wanted evidence of an impending calling card, right? I remember that.
Right.
And so for years, I bet on Bob Hope, My Shoes Are Brown. And I used to talk about, my man was a mess at all times. Every time they rolled him out there. And he never died. He never died. He was always, this is unbelievable. Bob Hope was old in the 1960s.
Yep, he's up there.
How is he still alive?
The infamous Keith Richards.
Yeah, well, now Keith, I see how he's still alive. He's an alien.
Right.
Along with Willie Nelson.
Well, and the sports
never
version.
Never going to die.
Who's the sports version? Hubie Brown, because he's still working.
And good.
Yes.
He doesn't suck.
He's pushing 90.
Very few people past the age of 80 have anything of any importance to say or do. Now,
Vin Scully.
Doesn't mean we don't love them. Doesn't mean they're not important. Doesn't mean you can't sit down and pick their brain and learn from their experiences. I'm talking about professionally on the air as whatever, right? That typically you're like,
Don't pick their brain over dessert. Only in appetizer settings. Because by the time it gets to dessert, that's when the cuckoo comes out.
Now, what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, like, what I mean is, if you're in broadcasting terms, you hear guys in their 80s that are still doing anything. That's very rare, first of all. But secondly, you're always on the edge of your seat. You're usually kind of, is he going to say something wildly inappropriate? Because of a certain generation.
The previous one.
Several. Yeah. Even my dad's dad, like going back, like our granddad's generation. If they, had a couple of pops and they were in their 80s, you're like, something most unfortunate could be uttered at the dinner table here. And it doesn't have to be just like, I think everybody driving is thinking it's racism, which you did worry about from a certain generation, certainly. Hell, any generation. But you could be anything. It could be anything where you're like, it's not 1937. Yeah. You just can't describe a woman that way.
Right. No, that's my pop-up Lang. But it was Brooklyn. It was Brooklyn 20s, 30s, and 40s. I mean, and that was a very segmented place. It's like, here's your neighborhood. Do not leave your neighborhood.
Right. And that could be everybody that ever came here.
It could be German and Irish.
No, that's what I mean. Everybody had a role, and it was clearly defined in the eyes of the people of that generation. It was all.
It's like, if you want to go see the Italians, do so on Saturday morning. You go to the butcher shop, the pasta shop, you go in. But you got to be out by like 4.
The problem is, of course, that whole generation didn't call them the Italian neighborhood or the Irish neighborhood or the black neighborhood, or they didn't.
The interesting thing about that time was they called each other the worst names, and they did so to each other's faces.
Well, that's the worst.
It was almost like
it
was almost like NAFTA.
Opportunity hate.
It was like NAFTA for slurs. Just free trade. That's right, I am, and this is what you are.
Yeah.
That'll be $3.50.
Now let's have a beer.
$3.50. It was $3.25 last week.
Yes, I am saying, Preston, don't listen to Mike Francesa. But yeah, but so back to this. Well, where was I going with that? I think we need to go back to
baseball.
We probably need to go back to the Noles winning big. I'm shook by Ray Liotta's death. I am.
Who wouldn't be?
Oh, yeah. The Chantix commercials. When I saw the Chantix commercials, had we still had a death pool on the JCS is where I was going. I would have told you, my man, Ray Liotta is moving to the forefront here. He may not be the leader in the clubhouse, but Ray's in trouble. Ray needs our help. Thank God he finally stopped smoking right there at the end.
You know who outlasted Ray Liotta? Isn't Anthony Hopkins still kicking?
Oh, yeah, he's doing great.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's doing great. Anthony Hopkins is dead sober and has been for like 50 years.
Still.
I'm saying
but
there's
he's
a big difference. Ray Liotta wasn't sober yesterday before he died.
I got you.
Is my guess.
But for 20 years, Anthony Hopkins looks like he could be on the brink. I mean, really. He's like, every word, you're like, ooh, man, that's a fragile word he's uttering there.
He's good at it, though. I mean, he gets into characters oftentimes that seem fragile. But if you see him like on his Instagram, he's great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's great.
There's consensus here.
He's worth following.
Why do I not know about Anthony Hopkins' Instagram?
He's great. Go follow him. He's awesome. He actually has little words of wisdom, as one might suspect, from Anthony Hopkins. And he's I don't know, he's a lovely human being. He really is. I mean, the only reason I followed is I stumbled across one time a little speech he gave on his birthday, and it was lovely. It was just the sweetest sentiment ever.
In the 3 hours a day he can be awake, because I feel like that's all the energy he has.
That's all the energy one needs at that age. 3 hours?
That's right. Yeah.
You can get down
breakfast,
3, have a little fun.
Have a little nap, eat a little lunch, have a little nap, 6-hour nap.
Yeah, whatever it might be. He's doing great. He's doing just fine.
Is that a Triscuit?
He's doing, you'd like to have tea with Anthony Hopkins. You would.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
He and Michael Caine, before they went, if you could sit, oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
But that's why you can't put Anthony Hopkins next to Chantix.
Oh no. Listen, it's a handicapped race. It's like a scratch golfer playing against a 20 handicap. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Just an offset there. There's an offset at the start.
Rest in peace, Ray Liotta, and get you some of that Virginia. Get you some of that UVA. 13-3 out of nowhere. Now, I tweeted this last night. I don't tweet as much anymore, but I did last night because I couldn't help. I was compelled. Reese Albert hit a home run. And I'm going to admit something before we go to break. It's a long first segment, but I mean, paying honor to the Ray Liotta. I began to resent Reese Albert this year. This is a me problem.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's a me problem.
Why this year? That doesn't make sense.
Oh,
I feel like it'd be in previous years.
He hit like a child. And I was getting so tired. I'm like, what are we doing with rolling Reese Albert out here out of pity? Like, why? I'm sorry you screwed up your shoulder. It's a shame. It's a shame. But my man is out here with 0 home runs in college baseball. It's ridiculous. And I thought, well, I get it. We keep rolling him out there.
He's hitting 298.
298 in college isn't great, especially when you have 0 home runs, Tom. 0. He was the baddie. A slappy.
12 doubles.
You're trying.
Well, he's opsing around 800. I mean,
slappy. And so I was so frustrated all year long. I was like, man, come on now. We don't have to keep out of sympathy rolling Reese Albert out here just because he's in year 9.
His on base is 400.
And he's got very little chance to play at the next level. We don't have to just keep playing him because we respect and love that he's fought hard to come back from the injury. Clearly that hasn't worked. And so yesterday, in a blowout, when he pimped the hell out of that home run,
you get you some.
You better pimp. It's probably the last one you're ever going to hit in your life. And so there it was. He hit that home run, and all the resentment left me. I went, all right, good for you.
Oh, so this is a story of healing. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't know he was loathed by me. I'm admitting to it publicly because I have forgiven. And it's a me problem, not a him problem.
And yet you forgive him.
I do.
It's
Again,
you
it's
problem,
me.
but you forgive.
I'm forgiving him for causing my angst.
This feels like a screenplay that Anthony Hopkins would read.
I just kind of was thinking, you've caused much consternation this year to go along with so many on that team.
So it's my fault, but I have to forgive him.
Yes.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the weirdest team of all time, though. They are strange. They're strange even by college baseball standards. They're strange by Florida State college baseball standards over, say, the last handful of years, where you would watch that team lose in glorious fashion if you're the other team doing the winning, and most frustrating to watch, only to turn around and feel really positive about the possibility of a big win streak against a really good team. That's who they've been this year.
Oh, there are 2 years where they're dead on March 25th and they go to Omaha.
I know. And so who knows? 13-3. I'll get into some of that and some Florida State football and more Ray Liotta talk. Damn it, man. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates.
Congratulations to Parker Bell at Childs High School. We're so incredibly proud of you and can't wait to see what the future has in store as you start at the University of Florida in the fall. Go Gators and congratulations.
If you'd like to send a congratulations message over the air to your graduate, just call the Lively Technical College Grad Star line at 850-523-7890.
Right here in our hometown is a local spot where you can take a break from all your worries. A place where everybody knows his name is Smitty's Tap House and Grill. Smitty's deep appreciation for fine craft beers and tasty bar treats sets the stage as the ideal local neighborhood pub. Want to know more? Just visit Smitty'sTapHouse.com to check out the full menu. Come see us at Smitty's Tap House and Grill on Thomasville Road, just north of Cary Forest Parkway. You'll be glad you came, where everybody knows his name.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
game today at 3:00 and advances to the semis if they in fact beat Notre Dame. And hey, sure, maybe they'll run rule Notre Dame.
Don't you feel like that's more of a possibility now because they go in streaks? It's all or nothing, not alternating all and nothing.
I don't know, man. No,
that's the correct answer.
I
tried to trick you. That's the correct answer.
I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Is Corey with us? He'll know. Corey Clark, Warchant.com, joins me for our Thursday chat. Corey, how much hatred is in the air today when Florida State and Notre Dame meet? Just think of that. This emanating from both these managers, probably once beloved friends, now certainly stone cold enemies.
Obviously, yeah. Meats told both of us several times how much he hates Link Jarrett and wishes he wasn't in the profession. So, yeah, it's a good point. I'm glad we're starting there.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever said that, of course, but I'm going to project that on him because I think he does.
It'd be cool if he beat him, right? It'd be cool if he beat Link.
Yeah, but he has.
That's the other thing. Not this year, though, right?
No, they didn't beat him this year.
And the kid that's pitching for Notre Dame today is he's the one that outdueled Messick when they pitched earlier in the year. Like the kid, I think, struck out 12, walked 1, gave up 0 runs.
That means we're both picking Florida State 10, Notre Dame nothing.
Correct. Yeah. Once those bats get turned on, man, they don't get turned off.
Turn those things off.
It's like a fire hydrant. It's just going to go and go and go.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that team. That was funny yesterday. What was it? I think they were 500. They hit 500 with runners in scoring position yesterday.
Yeah. Just
baseball's weird. Baseball's weird though, right, Corey? I mean, here's the thing. We bring this up all the time. There have been games where they left like 15 guys on base. And then I remember thinking, well, if the object is to get on base, they did a really good job today. The gripe this year has been not so many of those days where they left everybody on base and just were a little unlucky with runners in scoring position, because that happens in baseball. It's been that people don't get on base.
Correct. Yeah, that's the problem. They have the worst on base percentage in the ACC, or did until yesterday. So yeah, it's troubling. I like my lighting. I feel like I forgot my big lighter down in Tallahassee, like the thing that lights up my video. And so now I look like I'm in The Godfather. I got the all black. It's kind of shady, dark.
How fitting is it on a day we lose Ray Liotta?
Man, how sad is that? I love that dude.
Shook me up to start the show, man. I was on the air before I was aware of this. And like the first thing that pops up in the feed is rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Or actually, they didn't even say that. They just said something about Ray Liotta. I was like, well, why is somebody mentioning Ray Liotta on my feed? This is not good. Because, that's what we all do. You instantly, you're terrified. Plus, if you'd seen the Chantix commercials, Ray hadn't been looking good.
No, but he still was only 67. That's not.
Yeah, but Ray was 67 going on 105.
Yeah, he had lived a life, hadn't he? He lived through the 80s. He did some things in the 80s.
Yeah, some things, as in a lot of cocaine.
Correct. Well, I mean, we're that's alleged. We don't know, but we just assume.
He's admitted in interviews that I've read. My man wasn't trying to hide from something. You're smoking 2 packs a day. You got to be on something.
Right. True. Yeah. So, but going back to baseball and not Ray Liotta, R.I.P. Ray. That was just who would have thought? Number one, Ferrer and Tibbs are the real deal. We know they can hit. They've been their best hitters all year
long.
Reese Albert hitting a ball 430 feet or whatever that was, just completely out of nowhere, like hitting it out of the stadium. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, we were just talking about him on headlines. Like I saw him hit home runs to left field 3 years ago, and now he doesn't hit them anywhere. And for him to hit it like that, but again, it's like, man, it was cool that they won the game, but I don't know, man. Maybe if they go on a run and somehow win the tournament, you feel differently about this team. But I think our feelings about this team were true. They could get swept in the regional. They could win the regional. We literally have no idea. I think the biggest development, and it wasn't developed maybe you'd like it to, Hubbard was better, but Hubbard still isn't. He's not pitching like an ace like he did at the beginning of the season, and that's troubling because you can't just use Messick and Crowell and get out of a regional. You can't do it.
Yeah, he started well yesterday, but then did not look like the guy that can dominate. I mean, he still ended up, when you think about an ace, you don't think about a guy who goes 4 innings for you and gives up 3 runs.
Yeah. And so his last three games, Miami, UNC, and then this one, his 3 starts, he's pitched a total of 10 innings. That doesn't get it done, man. That's not what Florida State's strength is. Those two guys to start a series, and now it seems like it's just one guy. And Messick needs to have a good outing today, or otherwise you're going to be a little worried about him in a regional because he hasn't been good his last two starts.
I would say this, and I've thought this as the year has went on, and no matter the results, I feel like Parker Messick is built that way. Like, that's a guy that you can have a little faith in. I know that he hasn't been as good. Nobody has on this team on the road as he has been at home. But if you are relying on a singular pitcher on this staff, it's Messick, and we all would agree on that. And we think, without that much hesitation, that he could go out and pitch really well today. It wouldn't be surprising to any of us. If you name almost any other pitcher on this staff, if you said that we were relying on that pitcher to go out and have a great game for us today, we would all say hesitantly that, we were hopeful. Whereas with Parker Messick, you can say with confidence, I think he's wouldn't surprise me to see him go out and pitch really, really well today.
Yeah, and look, man, say they win the game and they move to the semifinals. They've won a bunch. They win ACC baseball tournaments a good bit. I don't remember any of them, and neither do any of you. They don't. Nobody cares about them when you lose the next week or the week after that, or lose in Omaha. Nobody's like, well, yeah, but remember the ACC championship? I'm interested in how meet coaches today because I think it will be or managers today because I think it'll be a glimpse into what the postseason is going to be. If Messick gets you 6 innings and you're winning 2-1, who pitches the 7th? Is Montgomery an option at all? Or is he just a dude you're going to save for the weekend? I want to see that. That's all I care about is I don't care if they win the ACC tournament. Good luck. I hope it happens, but I don't care. I want to see what he's going to do with Montgomery and Dunn and Hare and Crowell out of the bullpen because that to me is as important as Hubbard.
Yeah, I agree. He got his lineup right yesterday. If you looked at the way that he placed the order of the lineup, he got the lineup right yesterday. And so I don't know. I think this is a true statement. Tell me if you agree. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. It's been a tough year for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's been commiserate to the baseball knowledge I think he possesses. I don't think he's managed to the baseball knowledge that I give him credit for having. I don't think this has been a good year for him.
It's been bizarre because it's not just he shuffles the lineup and he never has a set lineup. It's they don't have set positions. Like one day Logan Lacey started the season in center field and we were told he's the best center fielder they've ever seen. And I know he's been injured, but he wasn't playing center the whole time even before he got injured. Then he's at third sometimes. You don't know who your second baseman is half the time. It's a first baseman now. Brock Mathis is sometimes your first baseman if a lefty's pitching. So yeah, it's been odd. I do think the bats have come around. I know they just got shut out by North Carolina the game before, but if you've been watching them the last 5 or 6 games, they were putting together better bats. They weren't striking out a ton. Even the game they got shut out by North Carolina, they struck out 4 times. So there was something to build on. But it's been odd. And you don't want to be 56 games in your season and not know who your number 3 starter is and not know who your 7th inning guy is. And I don't think they know that.
The 7th inning guy part of that equation bothers me more, oddly enough, because I feel like they've thrown a lot of guys at the problem for that Sunday starter, your 3rd starter. It's not their fault they don't know who it is because everybody they've put in that role sucked.
Right.
So I mean, he's juggled, he's tried, he's put people out there and said, like, this is your chance to go win it, and nobody's taken it. Who's gone out there on a Sunday, in a series and said, it's mine, and dominated? Nobody.
No, Dunn did against not good teams.
Oh, in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, but once ACC started, it wasn't him. And it's like, man, I just don't know how you see Montgomery, the way he pitched in those 2 closer situations,
right,
to then run him back out there on a Sunday, or it's not working. But you have an elite arm that it's your job to utilize. It's your job as the manager that gets paid money to figure out the best way he can help your team. And Carson Montgomery's not helping your team really in any way, shape, or form right now. But he's too good a pitcher not to.
Well, he misses
figure that out.
So towards the end of games, when it's all on the line and you're not good defensively, you want a guy that can miss bats. He can miss bats. He's got great stuff for an inning, maybe 2. I mean, that's where he would be best utilized, one would think. I think it's no-brainer. I don't think this is a tough decision.
Yeah, but it'll be Scolaro probably. It'll probably be Scolaro in the 7th today. And that's what I wonder about is like that's what I want to see. Like just give Montgomery and now look, maybe he pitches the 8th inning. Because they are awful in the 8th inning and have been all year.
What's that number again? What's that record?
I haven't looked it up since then. Maybe they've scored. Maybe they scored some in the 8th yesterday
they did.
But it was 36-3 at one point. They were outscored in the 8th inning. But let Montgomery get a shot in this game that doesn't really matter at all. Just to see. And then you go into a regional where you have Montgomery. If he does well, you have Montgomery and Hare and Crowell. Those are 3 really good arms out of the bullpen if you can trust Montgomery to do it. I just think he's much more valuable getting you 3 outs in the 8th inning or 7th inning in a high leverage spot than giving you 3 1/3 to start a game on Sunday.
When are you and Aslan getting together for Wake Up? What should we be expecting?
Oh, we've already done it. So it'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow. You'll get your Wake Up Warchant at midnight. It drops, so you can listen to So Renegade Express edition. So we answered all the people's questions. Somebody asked this, and I want you to do this after the break if you can answer it.
All right.
The maddest you've ever been.
Somebody asked you the maddest you've ever been.
That was on the Renegade Express. No, not about Florida State. Just in life.
Oh, good question. All right, I'll do it. We have that to look forward to. Thanks for teasing on the Jeff Cameron Show.
That's what I do, baby. That's what I do. Warchant for life.
Later, brother.
News now.
A man was shot and killed after opening fire on a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy Wednesday afternoon. The incident unfolded around 1 p.m. Wednesday just west of Highway 129 North in Jasper when an HCSO deputy pulled over a vehicle because a passenger inside had a felony warrant. The man jumped out of the car and ran into the woods, and the officer gave chase. The suspect then started shooting at the officer. The deputy returned fire and shot the suspect. The suspect was flown to a hospital and pronounced deceased. He has not been identified. The officer involved shooting is being investigated, and the deputy has been placed on leave. A small area of Tallahassee south of Appalachia Parkway between Forest Tower Drive and Executive Center Drive was placed under a boil water notice Wednesday afternoon after a water main break. All water that is used for drinking, making ice, food preparation, brushing teeth, and washing dishes should be boiled for at least 1 minute. The advisory will reportedly be cleared once tests confirm the water is clear of harmful bacteria. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 85, south winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight, lows dip down to about 70, cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, highs level off around 88, mainly sunny skies and calm. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 72.
Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue just north of Havana is your final destination for hamburger excellence. But what if you don't know which burger to try? Captain Kenny has turned off the no smoking sign and has a 3-burger flight to help you make your decision. Put down that tray table and let your taste buds fly. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of the last light in Havana. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue. Get your fill at the grill.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Pastor Tabner was alone with a female church employee. She in a towel and he in his boxers. The charismatic 41-year-old Hurley explained the two of them had been making chili and gotten food on the floors. With the hot dogs that they were making, we are hoping that the pastor used the right condiments.
Think? There was at least 1 hot dog involved.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were just making chili dogs.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
A call, the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Maybe as soon as next month.
Summer relocation?
No, I I think at the end of the day, without being too long-winded, I want to get some of their advice, not on a home loan this time around, but they're experts on all things involving this process, home loans, but also if you needed to draw against your home to perhaps add,
buy a boat,
whatever it might be. I certainly trust Chad and Shannon in that process, and I'm going to, in fact, get their advice on this because I don't think I'm moving.
Okay.
I think I'm going to wait.
You're going to do an expansion.
Yeah.
The back deck is just going to be the entirety of your backyard. Just one giant back deck.
If I didn't have dogs, that would be an option. I'd have a great time with that. Just a giant back deck with a fire pit, a cooler that's
3 holes of mini golf.
Oh, how great would that be? But I want to learn. I want to know what I should do involving that process. And that's where Chad and Shannon can help me out, the legendary team, Hamilton Home Loans. Give them a call today if you have similar type questions, or if you're actually moving and you want to get a home loan and you need to figure out best mortgage process. Well, it's with Hamilton Home Loans. Plus, they're Noles. They're diehard Noles. You guys can commiserate. They even like it. Like you can just call and you start talking about what you're trying to do, sell one home, buy another, whatever it might be. But then if you bring up the Noles, like, well, hold on, we'll talk about the loans in a second. Let's talk about the Noles. They'll get into it with you, which is a good thing. 844-FSU-LOAN, also FSUHomeLoans.com. So we were asked, Corey said they were asked a question on the Renegade edition of Wake Up Warchant, which was the maddest you've ever been in your life about anything. There are very few things, as I bring this up as a criticism of myself all the time, that I matured late in life. Like I didn't have real good balance in my life until I was older than I think I should have been. It's easy for me to reflect on that now, but I was a pretty immature, say 24-year-old, whereas Tom was the antithesis. And Tom was very mature for his age. It's one of the first things I ever noticed about him when I met him. And so because of that, I do have a lot of silly moments where I allowed that useless emotion to get the best of me. Anger, that is, where I can think of anger. That's how you get in dumb things like fights. Like grown-ups don't get in fights. Like once you are mature, and not typically. So what it takes for you to get that kind of mad, in my opinion, what can anger me is when there's a person who is defenseless that's being picked on. Somebody who is, I can't stand bullies. If somebody is ill-equipped to defend themselves or help themselves in intellectually or otherwise, and they're being picked on, I won't abide by that. And if I witness it for any length of time, I can feel that in the pit of my stomach, the rage beginning to happen to a point where I think even at this age, I could hurt somebody, or I'd be tempted to put an end to that sort of thing. And I once saw a person push somebody who was handicapped to the ground and laugh. And I think that might have been, in a moment, like in a flash, the angriest I've ever been. Now, the immaturity anger, I don't want to admit to an assault, but I did harm somebody in college once that for something that was, I mean, they deserved the beating, but it was over the top.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it. But I know that in that moment, I found a rage in me that scared me, and it made me mindful never to reach that place again.
So that's an important thing, because then you're out of control. Literally, you don't know what you're going to do, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
that's the old cliche of people pulling somebody off of another guy. So you've jarred the memory for a couple of situations in which I saw bullying go on, and I had something to do with the bullying, not as the one, as in the answer.
Yeah, because you were mad.
Save that for a bellying up, because there are some things that I would say on bellying up I can't say here.
Sure.
Admissions that I would make. I'll stay out of family anger too. That's not for the air. But so I'll stay very much in that collegial atmosphere.
Okay.
You know the story.
I know the one that, yes, is it involving popcorn or some sort of food?
Oh, no.
That's a good one.
That was my roommate.
Yeah.
He would not clean up. Oh, my goodness. He was the biggest stoner in the world.
That's a good one.
And so what did he value most? And that was his bowl of popcorn. So I slapped the hell out of that thing out of his lap. And I said, you clean this up and you clean up what you're supposed to clean up. And and I didn't hit him. I hit the bowl of popcorn. And he looked at me like, why? And I'm like, You know what damn well why.
I love that he was more concerned about the loss of popcorn.
Yes,
than
that
he was
tells
about
you
the task at hand or
Right.
the pseudo assault.
it was the dude, and I saw Colbert very nicely, director.
Mm.
It was the dude who blew smoke in my face, cigarette smoke.
Yeah. I know that story.
I warned him. I said, "Don't do that again." And it wasn't like with rage.
No,
or,
it was very calm.
I was like,
And
"Yo."
that's the scary warning. That is
Right.
we've reached a place now. There is no return.
And the other people at the party were like, "Yeah, don't do that." And he goes, "What?" And
Oh,
does it again.
Yeah.
Look, man, I've never
That's
seen.
where you see red.
Yes,
Mhm.
I've never seen red before.
Yeah.
And that's really dangerous.
No, it is. Yeah. But you have to know that that's in you, right? That's like once you learn it's in you, you got to, okay.
Mhm.
You're better off extricating
And
yourself from the situation.
I couldn't. But what are you gonna? That was the maddest because in any other situation,
Yeah.
I had time to process how angry I was, even in the bullying situations. That was the one where I saw dead red, and I was like a bull. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, there it is. That's the answer to the question. So
That was
there
a
you go,
great
Corey.
question.
That is. It's seldom asked. It makes you think. It makes you have to harken back.
Sports angry? Is it one of the wide rights?
Yeah, I think that.
Was it going for 2 against Miami instead of kicking the extra point?
No, that didn't bother me.
It didn't?
No,
Should've.
No, that one didn't bother me. Yeah.
Clock management 93. If we had lost, that would be number 1.
Let me tell you something. This is easily forgotten as we get older, and because the man was a legend and responsible for so many wonderful moments in Seminole football history. But Coach Bowden was never great at game organization and clock management. That Corey would agree with that. I think most honest, fair-minded Seminoles would tell you that was true.
I asked you both
Situationally, he was not very good.
when you were at the happy hour last year. I said, did you guys know that in the moment? Like, because we're so situationally aware these days, I think social media brings that to the forefront. It's more present. That person's
Right.
always in the conversation, whoever that person is. So I asked in 93, did you guys know that in the stands? And both of you viscerally oh yeah. You were, yes.
There were
you
fair
flashed back to
criticisms.
pure anger.
Yeah, there are fair criticisms for any coach, and Bobby Bowden included. That was a big one. Like, come on, man, we need to get this aspect together. On the one hand, you'd say that nobody could recruit like that guy if he got in. If he got onto your couch or your dinner table and sat down, I mean, that kid was coming to Florida State, and that's a huge compliment. It's a big part of the job. At least it was for a very long time. But he could butcher the ends of games. And that was really troubling and frustrating. And so, and it's fair to bring that up. There were a lot of moments. I think maybe one of the angriest I've ever been was it 2002 when we lost to Miami? Is that the game where Greg Jones runs for a gazillion yards and we lose?
Is that the Shockey game?
There's so many moments.
Yeah.
Miami out of a timeout.
Wide left.
Just destroyed us year in and year out. Late in games, they'd call a timeout, and invariably they would run a halfback screen that would go for 80. It was crazy.
And the backside tight end drag in the red zone.
All
Nobody ever covered
day long. Drove me nuts. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue just north of Havana have become your destination for the best food either side of the state line. But what if you want fresh seafood? Say no more. Kenny and the crew have got you covered with seafood so fresh, the only way you'll get it fresher is if you grow a set of gills. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of the last light in Havana. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, open 7 days a week. Get your fill at the grill.
Hey Tallahassee, it's Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. You're probably driving right now, which means you're surrounded by glass. Did you know that each piece is made differently? Your windshield is 2 sheets of glass with a thin plastic in between. This allows it to take an impact without going all the way through. Side and back glasses are typically tempered. This strengthening process is what allows them to be shattered in the event of emergency. Regardless of the glass or how it breaks, we can help. Trust your local auto glass experts. Seminole Auto Glass, proudly serving the Big Bend for over 15 years. Better call Seminole.
Matt, when you think of a successful Southern cookout, what do you think of first?
The food, of course.
The food, but you got to think about the food prep. And Hearth and Patio has thought about that with their awesome grills.
What kind of grills?
Fire Magic, Broil Master, Blaze Grills, Kamado Joe. Matt, they got it all.
Wow.
Custom outdoor kitchens. Create an outdoor cooking space.
You'll be the envy of your neighborhood.
You will be the envy of your neighborhood, and you'll make a lot of people jealous. That's because you called Hearth and Patio at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or you can visit Hearth and Patio online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
It's a backyard barbecue party. What's Lee Holcomb's number one more time?
850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. The Hearth and Patio, they not only keep the home fires burning, Hearth and Patio will elevate your grilling game.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Segment allows me to do so here. I think, Tom, this might. Michelle Wee has stepped away for good from golf. How old do you think Michelle Wee is, given how long she was in the news for preternatural skill at a very young age? The feeling is it never translated into the prodigy she was thought to be. She does have a major. She did win 5 times on tour, I think it is. Might be 10. Should double check that, Jeff. And she made a bunch of money. But what do you think?
33.
She's 32. 32. So I looked up career earnings and the like, and this is where I went with the could be a kiss my ass on Main Street moment. And that is that and she was largely criticized, especially as she withdrew from certain tournaments several times. She became, for a brief period of time, a person that would post an 83 on a professional event, at a professional event, and then leave, like withdraw, and you'd go, really? Tough round. We're going to call it a day, are we? Like, there are people who are obviously hurting and withdraw from a tournament. And you're like, okay, Tiger can barely walk. Got it. But there have been a couple Michelle Wee moments where you're like, you just didn't play well. I'm not so sure I'm buying this. But so she got ripped for a while there. And turns out she made, in her career, between endorsements and career earnings, on the tour itself, she made over $6 million. But with the endorsement deals that she once signed, I was able to come up with a figure somewhere in the neighborhood. I don't know what she's worth now, but at one point she made well over $30 million. If you walk away at 32 years of age in your chosen profession of any kind, and you have over $30 million or so, or thereabouts, it's a kiss my ass on Main Street.
That's interesting. So she was ahead of her time then, because now I think that same trajectory would have made her hundreds of millions.
Yeah. At one point, she had a brief deal, a couple of deals, endorsement deals worth about $10 million. So she was doing some things. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with us. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show, live and local on Real Talk 93.3, WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
Fewer Americans applied for jobless aid last week, with the number of Americans collecting unemployment benefits already near 5-decade lows.
According to the Labor Department, applications for unemployment benefits fell by 8,000 to 210,000 for the week ending May 21st. The 4-week average for claims ticked up from the previous week to 206,750. The total number of Americans collecting jobless benefits for the week ending May 14th rose slightly from the previous week to 1,346,000.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The father of one of the children killed in the Texas school shooting says police were unprepared and slow to move in to stop the shooting. Tim McGuire with that report.
Javier Cazada's daughter, Jacqueline, was one of the 19 fourth graders killed in Salvador Ramos' attack on Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. He says when he arrived during the attack, police were still outside the building. Cazara says he was so upset, he thought about going in himself with several others. Ramos' grandfather, Rolando Reyes, was asked why he shot and wounded his grandmother before the school attack.
I don't know. No sabe lo que pasó. No sé.
Reyes, seemingly stunned by all the questions, also said he didn't know the 18-year-old had bought 2 semi-automatic weapons. I'm Tim McGuire.
Also at townhall.com, the White House announcing more steps to make the antiviral treatment Paxlovid more accessible across the U.S. as it projects COVID-19 infections will continue to spread over the summer travel season. Stocks are higher as investors have cheered a strong set of quarterly results from Macy's and other retailers. The Dow up 581 points, the NASDAQ 336 points higher. More at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Wooden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at woodenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
a misleading headline. Maybe not of the article itself, but I don't think they're going to emerge as a strength of the team. Do you?
I think they could be, man. So you're putting me on the spot. I'm trying to work through it because I don't know the defensive end's a strength of the team. I know defensive tackle will be a strength.
That's the strength of the team, I think.
Tatum Bethune might be good enough. You only need 2 players on the field at a given time at that position.
These days, it's true.
If Bethune stays healthy, they could be good. Yeah.
Tatum Bethune is a huge shot in the arm for that segment group. He may bring that group to life and make sure that it's not really a weakness on the team. I don't know that the area is going to be that of strength. Kalen DeLoach came a long way. DJ Lundy is a average player. Really specifically, he's good against the run. That's about what you have there.
Smart of him, though, to drop 20-plus pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's a hard worker, and he's a big hitter.
Yep.
So he's a physical presence. He's lacking in some areas from sideline to sideline, but he's not lacking for toughness.
And, if 20 pounds equals one quicker step, maybe he needed 2 or 3, but if it's one step quicker, then that'll play against the teams that you need to beat in conference this year.
I'm curious. I will say the guy that is a bit of an enigma and I think has a chance to maybe improve the way we view him as a player. He's never been a guy that we've ever, wanted to see like lose weight or be tougher or anything like that. Like sometimes you have things that you're critical of a player and it has less to do with maybe what they're capable of or what they haven't done. It's been more about what they refuse to do in order to get the best out of themselves. I don't think it's that for a guy like Amari Gaynor. Amari's done everything that has been asked of him. He has done everything in his power to get the most and unlock the most of his abilities. And he's had some productive moments, but he's never been the dynamic player we thought he was going to be. He's a legacy. He got here. We thought, man, Amari's going to be a star. When you stand, and Tom can attest to this, when you stand next to Amari Gaynor and you're in an interview setting, that's a really a big, strong man that you think could dominate. He kind of has the look of a player of yesteryear, almost like his dad, right? He has the look of a guy that you expect to dominate when on the field, and he just doesn't do that. And, he's also been a player whose role has been hard to define. He's not quite the middle linebacker. He's not quite an outside linebacker. He's not big enough to be a defensive end. He doesn't have that first step to rush the passer. He's not great in coverage. So there's a lot of tweener to him. There's just a whole lot of, man, it's unfortunate for you, but you're not, and this is not a personal attack on him, but he's not great at any one thing. He's also not dreadful at any one thing. So he's just kind of stuck. But I do think a fire was lit with him. You could see it in spring because he recognizes that with Tatum Bethune coming in, the emergence of Kalen DeLoach in the second half of the season a year ago, that he's in a fight for snaps. I mean, he really is. He's in a fight for reps. And I thought he approached spring with the requisite what-for, tenacity, toughness, focus, day in, day out, dog. I mean, that guy was really, even in the drills, you could tell he would have been annoying to have to deal with. There were no days off, no reps off, no moments in time that he was going to let go to waste. So if he is going to conjure up the best in him, I think he had the right attitude and work ethic in the spring. Not that that's ever been a problem, but I think he recognizes time is of the essence, meaning in his career and also what is he going to get on a football field. So he's kind of a guy that I'll watch carefully. He's 6'3", 235 pounds. You kind of feel like there should be more explosiveness there. There should be more dominance there. Maybe he has his best year yet. And if he emerges to have his best year yet, in a season where you bring in a Tatum Bethune, who's a tackling machine, is physically more imposing than you realize to look at him from afar, is both requisite quick and smart and fast enough to play the position and all that it entails in the modern game of football, which you've got to cover. Got to be able to cover, or you're going to get isolated in one-on-one matchups, and you're going to get exploited the way Florida State linebackers have been exploited a lot over the last handful of years. So there's a guy that when you think about the ability to do both and who has been productive in the college game at a program, sad to say, that's been better than ours, UCF. That's tough for me to say out loud, but they have been over the last, certainly the years that he was there. And this is a guy that had 108 tackles last fall. He has been as productive, uber productive, as you can expect out of a linebacker. So they get better immediately, and he was great in spring. But they're not deep with talent. I continue to talk about that. That's not I would bring in a linebacker if I could. Now, this is probably something you're tired of hearing, all the people I'd bring in if I could, right? I'd bring in another defensive end. I'd bring in another linebacker. I'd bring in 2 offensive linemen. I'd bring in a tight end. I'd bring in a frontline receiver if I could. So there's a lot I'd bring in. I say this a lot. There aren't too many positions where I'd say, no, we don't need anybody. Running back, with the addition of Trey Benson, I wouldn't bring anybody else in right now, for example. I think that room is set. Everywhere else, a lot of times I'm like, you could probably bring somebody else in, and linebackers included in that.
Yeah, I think so. Tatum carries his 230 really well.
Oh, man.
You don't realize
You don't even realize he's 230 at all.
Gaynor, he tackled well at the end of last year. That's the thing I noticed. He set things up. He knew how to break it down better. He took more efficient angles. And you're hoping that momentum carries, because there's a couple of reasons you could be optimistic that it is going to carry over and he's going to get better. It's not just the competition and seeing somebody jump you in the depth chart that wasn't even here on campus last year. That's a motivator. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But the improvement of Kalen DeLoach tells you that development is happening, which is something that we could not say from Bill Miller through, and maybe Chris Marv had something to do with it, but I'm going to put the line at the end of his season at Chris Marv, because I think he did do a good job in some developments. But you need a recruiter as well at that position.
Yeah.
That's where Randy Shannon is, I think, both. He could do both.
Mm,
So you didn't, well, we'll see. But you didn't see development for 5 or 6 full seasons at linebacker here. And that's where you'd say, if Gaynor has improved the way Deloach has improved, they carry that into the offseason. My God, they got better in spring and they get better in fall camp.
Yeah.
Then you may have fostered some depth out of places you thought that, out of wells that weren't going to spring anymore. And here they are. It's magic. Now, I don't know, though, with Gaynor that you could put him out there in down and distance neutral situations. He might be a specialist. That might just be what he is.
There's
but
too many of those.
So is DJ Lundy, but they're opposite specialists.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You have 2 guys there that can't be on the field if it's neutral, and both of them, and that's not good. That's where you lack depth and you have a lack of explosiveness, and so it's tough. It's frustrating.
But what's interesting also that position is the Gant move. Now, that could be a big nothing burger.
We'll
it might be.
We'll see. I thought he'd be gone.
But if you play a team that goes 4 wide a lot, or they've got a hybrid type player that's in the slot, maybe that's a matchup that might work for you, because he's certainly not quick enough to be a true defensive back, but he's at 190 in spring, get him up to about 205, 210. Okay, maybe. I think that's a worthwhile experiment. And then Omar Graham had a nice spring, the true freshman.
Omar Graham had a nice spring, but it is a true freshman. How much is to be expected of him in year one? It's awfully tough to project anybody to have a great season for you, a difference-making season for you their freshman year at that position.
No doubt.
But it's great, though. It's a good point to note that you got a guy coming down the pipeline that you feel pretty good about. And we do, because of the spring he had. I agree with you. That's not I guess my point of contention is I don't think that that's going to be an area of strength per se, but it was an area of weakness the last few years. And now you might go into a season where it's not. And that is, again, improvement. I think it's just fair to try to provide some balance on what these segment groups are.
The concern for this year is the same concern for the last whatever. It's coverage. Can you cover? Because they're going to be kept clean with those defensive tackles in front of them. Doesn't matter if you got the first teamers out there or the second teamers. They're going to have lanes to go make plays at or behind the line of scrimmage if that's what we need to dial up. And I would assume that this year Adam Fuller is going to dial up more pressures. You're going to need an Amari Gaynor in an obvious situation, a 3rd and 9, and maybe you've got a twist game or something. I just don't know that
he's the guy to make that happen. That's what I'm worried about with him. I need him to be.
I'm not saying outside linebacker as in rush end. I'm saying on the field with Bethune or Deloach in that situation, because you need a little pop. That's what you need. But the question is coverage, because I think they're going to be kept clean when it's in front of them. But what happens behind them and laterally speaking? If they can cover, then it might actually be a strength. It might be.
I want to give a compliment to somebody that I don't expect to make a huge difference this year. He has it at any year and any point that he's been here, other than he was forced to play. But I do love him for what he is in that locker room and for what the other players think of him, and because of the day-to-day work ethic of which I was referencing, and because I think he's, I don't know where his head's at in the way that he looks at his career. But you would never know if there's even any element of disappointment or frustration. Stephen Dix Jr. works hard all the time. Obviously, he looks like a Greek god. You know, that's the getting off the bus guy. That
He and
would
Gaynor,
have.
you send them two out first.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, I mean, they're an impressive looking football player, but he's just so stiff he can't move, and the sideline to sideline is he just really can't play. So the thing is, I would have thought at some point when you get demoted and your production, because you're not playing, is going down and down and down, that you may want to look around. He would have been a candidate if you had said, who's a candidate that won't be here for long. I think I would have nominated him because he played so much when he first got here. He's playing so little now. But it's the opposite with him. He's one of these throwbacks in a lot of ways that I think most college football fans miss terribly. And what I mean by that is you love to see the guy that just is sticks through it all, you know, whatever it is, whatever adversity he faces. I don't lament or in any way begrudge certain guys to move on elsewhere where they're going to get more opportunities. But I think like most fans sort of resent players that are met with some adversity for the first time in their athletic careers, and the first thing they do is run.
Yeah, you know who agrees with you? Jameis. How about that moment in your interview one-on-one?
Yeah.
Jameis is not a fan of the
Hit
cutting
the
and
transfer
running.
portal, yeah. Well, I don't think any real true competitor is a fan of cutting bait and running the first time you face adversity. It runs counter to what it means to sacrifice and commit and to work on improving and getting better on a day-to-day basis and being a good teammate and all those other things, right? It runs counter to that. Now, again, it's a fine line here because I understand that if I sign on and I'm thought of in one way or I made certain promises and I get to a place and that's not happening and I realize that my dreams are kind of falling through the cracks here every year that I have to sit over here on the sidelines and not get opportunities where I'm getting asked by other places to come play football and play a more prominent role. Now, I don't know who would be asking Stephen Dix Jr. to come, but surely a Troy, I always fall back on a school like that, would say, yeah, come on down. I mean, at this level, you might be a dominant player. And if the goal is to play and put as much tape out there as possible to give yourself a chance at, I don't know, special teams in the NFL or something, then maybe you would say, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that opportunity. But we want guys to fight through it. We want guys to not run, tuck and tail and run the first time that somebody comes along who is a little bit more athletic than they are, or a little bit better at this stage of their career than they are. You know what? Should light a fire, should make you work harder, should make you whatever it might be. He's been perfect in that way. And I think he's looked up to by his teammates because he's obviously he's first guy in the gym. He's made incredible strides in that regard. He had a good spring for what it's worth.
Right.
He actually had a good spring for what it's worth. Again, that's relative to what my expectations may have been, but he actually made some play. I'll say this. I was standing next to Chris Nee. He's on the beat. Everybody knows that. And Chris and I are friends, and we were sitting there talking, and he made 2 plays in a row towards the end of spring in the team portion, and we both kind of looked at each other. And here's how I think it relates to the way we view him. We both smiled for him. We're like, good for you, man. Good for you. There are guys you're like, whatever. That guy, you're like, good for you, man.
Well, and sometimes there are players that surprise you too. Like Lamarcus Brutus is one of the great examples out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you did the position previews, the Warchant top 40, whatever it is, you'd be like, all right. For 3 years running, you'd be like, whatever, not making my list. And then he becomes the fulcrum to that defense. Like when he wasn't in there, he's saying, where's Lamarcus?
Yeah.
Why is he
gonna
hurt?
Get us
What's going on?
Yeah,
he's got to get us lined
up.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And then he would make plays after he gets
Mm-hmm.
you lined up. That was a really cool year because I believe he shared the defensive backfield with Javian Elliott. What a strange year that was.
And both
both
shocked
were
us all to
players.
hell. And, one went to the league and started and played for a long time out of nowhere.
And sometimes those examples happen. Like Vince Williams has a long NFL career. Who the hell
Much
saw that
longer
coming?
than his brother, who was the much better athlete.
Right. I don't know if that's going to happen in this case, but those examples give me pause from talking in absolutes because sometimes you get surprised and there are dudes that you hope it happens for. And you're right. 32 is a guy.
Yeah. Guy falls into a role, something like that. You guys know about Orange Theory Fitness. Now is a great time, really anytime. It's a great time to get signed up. But as always, it's the summer of more life. And who doesn't want that, right? Who wants to kind of languish day to day and feel lethargic? I promise you that won't happen. Get signed up at Orange Theory Fitness. science-backed, and you'll feel not only a lot better on a day-to-day basis while attending Orange Theory Fitness about your own fitness, but also just more energy throughout the day to get the tasks done that you want to get done. Of course, helps you lose weight to boot, and first class is always free. So you hear me talk about it, but you need to see for yourself, and I think that's true with any sort of exercise physiology, anything like that. You're going to want to go and learn, how does this work? And their coaches are so thorough, so really good at removing sort of the intimidation of these workouts. I think that maybe when you look into an Orange Theory Fitness workout from the outside, and you might think, boy, that looks like there's a lot going on. I don't know if I can handle that. You can, I promise you. Every level of fitness is represented there. But moreover, everybody roots for one another. It's really not one pitted against another. If you want to learn more about it, go take advantage of that first class being free. Also, they usually give you huge discounts if you sign up and you buy that heart rate monitor where you can really see your advancements in your cardio. That's a big deal. And so I would encourage you to do that now. Orange Theory Fitness, there's 2 of them here in Tallahassee. If you're listening really anywhere in the Southeast, there's a lot of them in probably the state near you, or where you are, I should say. So OrangeTheoryFitness.com can give you more information there. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
1868, General John Logan calls for a national day of remembrance in honor of those slain on the field of battle during the Civil War. May 30th was chosen as the day when Americans across the nation would gather to offer prayers for the fallen soldiers and their families. 100 years later, Congress declared the last Monday in May to be the nation's official Memorial Day, when we join together in remembering our first responders, law enforcement, and all those in military service who have given their lives in defense of freedom and kept us from harm's way. This Memorial Day tribute is brought to you by Dr. Scott Pliskin at Mahan Animal Clinic Veterinary Services. Call 402-0557. And Whitten Glass on South Monroe at whittenglass.com or call 222-5781. Sellers on Capitol Circle Northeast at sellerstile.com or call 656-8453.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates. Carson Potter from Childs High School. Congratulations, Carson. We are so proud of you. We love you. From the family.
Congratulations to Parker Bell at Childs High School. We are so incredibly proud of you and congratulations.
Call 850-523-7890 and leave us your messages for a graduate in your family. Congratulations from Envision Credit Union.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Perhaps somebody noted that Webb Simpson is in the league. I'm just pointing that out.
Very nice.
You're welcome, everybody.
Mm.
Hopefully you did, hopefully you mortgaged your house and you bet money you didn't have.
Hopefully you picked Webb because you cast a wide net. There were like 12 dudes.
I led with Webb.
Yeah, that's true.
I said the course was perfectly suited for him. It is. I would also note that Scotty Scheffler's right there, and that too seemed like a pretty reasonable bet since he missed the cut at the PGA, which was stunning. I said that the actual course was set up to do exactly what it's doing, oddly enough, which is that you're going to have a player or two that you're like, oh yeah, oh Scotty Scheffler, of course, and there's whomever, right?
Doug Gergelson, I do believe.
Gergelson, I said, could really rise up out of nowhere to steal this thing, and by Gergelson I meant Dylan Fratelli, who is right there tied.
It's a good band.
Yeah,
it's a good band.
So we'll keep a close eye on this and see if who I may in my personal life had sprinkled some pizza money at 40-1 on or 50-1, whatever it was, on Webb Simpson to win the tournament. Yeah.
There it is. Hello, Webb.
That's solving for the future. That's what that's doing, buddy. Solving for the future of the grocery store trip that I've got to make later on next week because my kids eat me out of house and home. Webb Simpson could be solving for the future thanks to my friends at ISF.
It's wild. I saw my second nephew in birth order, of course, not preference. And it was a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's my second nephew, Jeff. He's
born in 08. The other one was 06.
I'm kidding.
3-4 inches taller than the last time I saw him. I mean, my God, he's going to be coming for me in about 6 months to a year.
There it is.
And the both of them, they're just always in the fridge. That's all they do.
Oh, buddy,
and I miss it. I miss it so much. We were lucky because our parents indulged us. And I'm sure they cursed our names behind our backs, but they indulged us.
I promise you they did because they're like me. They're the ones buying the food. I've already been given the mission post-show. That's where I'm headed. I'm frequently headed to this particular grocery chain that
the Winn-Dixie, of course.
Yeah. Can't wait. I love filth. So it's just one of those,
There goes our football season by.
Get it together, Winn-Dixie. ISF obviously sponsors this segment. You know about ISF, but they want to remind you, and it's important because it's hurricane season, hurricane preparedness season. That's a better deal, right? Hurricane preparedness week, even, for example.
Yeah. They partnered with Second Harvest. That was really cool.
I'm going to bring it up again right here because it is very cool. And I always tell you about their expertise, but here they want to remind you to be prepared when hurricanes and other disasters strike. And so basically what's happened here is they did partner with Second Harvest of the Big Bend. They were able to hand out free food in hurricane supply buckets filled with essentials that you need to prepare this hurricane season. They did that, by the way, this past week. So I want to congratulate them, thank them. We love being partners with ISF. We talk about their business acumen and what they do with your visions and state government and the expertise that they provide. Companies all over the country and state government all over the country, even though they're located right here. But that's a doff of the cap for them and Second Harvest, who we both also respect immensely. Make a plan, build a bucket, be prepared. Visit ISF.com for more ISF solving the future. So that's good stuff. I tell my wife all the time, honey, go grab that bucket and make a plan. Get prepared. Let's go. And she just stares at me.
My plan is if it's coming at us, we leave. That's my plan.
Oh, you're not going to buckle up and ride it out?
Oh, as our former employer used to say, that it was my obligation to do? Hell no.
Who said that?
Our ownership group.
Told you to stay in the face of a hurricane?
Yeah, they drive us up a generator if we needed it. I was like, oh, where are you going to hook it up? Because there isn't one.
Yeah.
There isn't one in the office.
Yeah.
So we're going to hook that up. That'd be great. Awesome.
Oh, now see, this is where your temper is better suited.
I never told you that, did I?
No, because
it was so
I would
ridiculous.
have laughed and hung up the phone and been like, yeah, suck it. I'm not sitting up here waiting on you to drop off a freak.
Perhaps that's the transcript that the security system picked up after I hung up the phone. Like,
Yeah,
no,
I
man.
mean, get the
Are you
hell
kidding?
out
We'll
of
get on the
here
air
with
as soon as we
this.
can. Matthew's not leaving. He's a good helper. Thankfully, he put the station back on the air more than once.
Yeah.
But if it's coming right at us, no, man.
It's
I've got, a place in Pensacola I can go to. I got a place in Palm Harbor I can go to. So every which way, I'm okay.
That's funny. Yeah, the preparing for the future today is a very simple one for my friends at ISF. A, there is the hurricane preparedness, and then B, there's fill Jeff's fridge, because my 14-year-old and my very soon-to-be 12-year-old, who just got braces today.
Oh, man.
Birch Orthodontics. There you go.
That's solving for the future. He'll thank you. Not right in the moment, though, because you told me he's getting spacers or whatever they call them.
He
these
wasn't.
days.
I was wrong. Turned out I was wrong.
Oh.
I was so happy. The expanders, that's he did not have to get
Lucky
them.
for him.
Yeah.
Spacers are terrible.
Didn't have to get them, and he's really happy about that. And as on our drive home, this is the kind of dad I am, already prepping my son to give me money. I said he was telling me about his dreams of being a director or something like that. He was talking about how he would direct shoe commercials. Very specific dream.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So he gets the shoe thing from you.
Oh, and he's taking it and run with it. So but he's talking about these shoe commercials. Yeah, you like that? And I said, well, that's great, because after feeding you and your brother and supplying for braces, not once but twice, I expect a little kickback when you have the kind of success you're describing right now. That's solving for the future.
You got them the metal mouth, right? That was Bryce had the metal mouth. Same thing for Clark.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing the Invisalign thing.
Nope.
What is the upcharge on the Invisalign?
I don't know.
How much more expensive is it?
I don't think I don't know if they were even. I mean, they have that there, but I don't think that they were even eligible for that. It's not standard. It's not like
do you have to have pretty good teeth in order to get Invisalign?
I don't think you can be a mess.
Right. Okay.
I don't know this. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't work in the dentistry industry or the orthodontic.
I thought maybe you ask questions when you go there. I don't know.
No, I asked, and then I got the sense that
did they give you the 3 proposals?
You do get that. That's for everything.
Yeah.
The 3 proposals are for everything. You can get this or that, and Anyhow,
let's get him the Invisalign. Oh my God, metal it is.
Yeah, you're not getting the Invisalign. Dad's done well, but not that well. We're not doing that. Yeah, that's also. You gotta, 2 years, you gotta be wearing these things either way. At that age.
Well, you did the right thing. You got them to shed them, and at least Clark's on the path before high school.
Yeah, both will be done. Well, Bryce is done and is set to go to high school, and Clark will be done too.
Unlike yours truly.
There it is.
From 14 to 18.
Oof.
Yeah, buddy.
Your teeth must have been like Clark's. They were jacked.
I guess so. Like
Yeah,
the presenting teeth were beautiful. They presented fine. It was the under stuff that was nasty.
Yeah, man, I was like, golly, man, I don't know. This is when we were looking at Clark's teeth. I love you, Clark, but boy, your teeth were like alien.
For 3 long years, I had food stuck in between the bite plate and my gums. I mean, good Christmas.
You got your money's worth today, ISF. That's it. That's solving the future from ISF. They're an IT and strategy firm. 40 years. They've served state government and business clients across the nation. Today, they told you, get your bucket prepared. Let's go. It's hurricane season, man. I know that we're somewhat unflappable in the state of Florida when it comes to hurricanes, but it's no joke.
Don't test it. Yeah, we had a bad storm. I lost 2 trees. No, please.
Yeah.
It's amazing once you own a home instead of rent, you care a lot more about the track.
Yeah, and I also learned through hurricane scares of recent memory that I am so modern. I have no chance to survive out on my own. Anything ever happens to the power grids, where I'm dead, I'll be one of the first ones to die off. I got no shot. I can't deal with no electricity. It drives me nuts. And it's not because I'm addicted to being online or anything like that. In fact, I'm always telling people to get offline. But that air conditioning.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Warchant TV, which you can find on youtube.com.
Oh, man. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Tallahassee Memorial Hospital requested Wednesday that individuals who have mild to no symptoms of the virus do not come to its emergency room for treatment. We urge you, if you have mild or no COVID-19 symptoms, please avoid the ER and use any of the many other testing avenues available in the community. TMH said in a posted statement, "We've come so far in our battle against COVID-19 and are grateful to now have testing accessible via mail-in and at-home tests. Primary care providers, urgent care centers, community testing sites, pharmacies, and more. They are urging all citizens to use one of those avenues instead of the emergency room." Lake Munson in southern Leon County is now closed off because of toxic algae on the water. The Department of Health issued another health alert Wednesday morning urging people not to swim or boat there. The DOH said tests show low-level toxins. Exposure to this algae can cause rashes, vomiting, and respiratory irritation. High levels can affect the liver and nervous system. This is Rachel Anae with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Frobley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 85, south winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight, lows dip down to about 70, cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, highs level off around 88, mainly sunny skies and calm. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 74.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Of 97 patients, 33 are vaccinated, and 63% are considered incidental.
See, this is what I'm upset about. He's basically made up the percentages to look like it's at 100%, but the two are not related to each other.
What's 37% of 97?
It's 35.89.
So why in the hell can't he literally ask iPhone, include that in his articles?
Maybe he's got an Android.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Day in which Ray Liotta's dead.
Yeah, I know. At least you got the Chili Peppers. It's not a great album, but they sound like themselves.
I gave up.
You gave up?
They're the same band over and over again. Same album.
It's okay. Sometimes you want to return to the old days.
Just go get Blood Sugar Sex Magic and be done with it.
Every day.
I mean, that's just, I can't. Yeah. They refuse to grow. But that said, I would also go back to this here really quickly because I did get some good news. It's not the news of Ray Liotta's death today. That's terrible. It's not that Tom Petty is not with us. That's terrible. It's that we got kickoff times for Florida State football. There's the segue. Here's what I'll tell you. I was just about to answer a question on the chat before we went to break. I saw it. And I thought, okay, well, I'll answer this. I think Briley did a good job of answering it in the chat. But then we got this news, so I can marry the storyline here, and this makes me happy. Basically, Preston wanted to know why it is that every day he sees kids committing to various schools. And does anyone on God's green earth ever commit to FSU? When was our last high school commit? What them kids doing? So this is a quandary for me, by the way, because I don't care. Isn't that a weird way to answer that question? I think since told you why several times over. Yes, Swiss Irish Mother's Milk is a great record as well. But again, we're going way back. It's that, does it really matter? I mean, I guess you want to feel like you have momentum of some kind. And so therefore, when you get a name of any kind that says, hey, I'm coming to FSU, and it's a 4-star offensive lineman, that's great, especially if they begin to stockpile, like all of a sudden, hey, look at this, we have and all that. But I just don't trust it anymore. We're all so beaten down and broken. I can't go out and love. I can't do it. I know, Jeff, you got to get back on the horse. Better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. It's okay. Get out there. Understand that we can still recruit at Florida State. Just because Travis Hunter screwed us over and one of our most famous former players was at the root of it, the ass that he is, doesn't mean you can't jump back in there and believe once again that a kid means what he says and says what he means, that he's coming to Florida State. But I don't believe any of them. I don't believe any of these kids. None of them. So it does us no good. I don't care if 50 of the best players in the country say I'm coming to Florida State. I don't believe it. I have no reason to. None. It's all going to be dictated by two things: how much money we can give them and whether or not somebody's given more, and whether or not we're any freaking good at all this year to start the season. That's it.
Wins.
That's right. It is all about what's going to happen in these first few games. That's where I said I think Briley may have gotten it right. And that is, it really is going to come down to whether or not we play well in these first 4 games. Are you 3-1 through 4? Might start hearing an uptick in yeses. I'm making my way to tally. You don't? Nah, I ain't coming. We're going to be a bunch of 3-star Jessies out here. Now, that is one problem that Mike continues to have. I don't know there's anything he can do about it unless they win. You're just not going to see an influx of 4- and 5-star players knocking on your door at a great rate the way they do some of these other places where you're hearing about kids getting commitments or universities getting commitments from kids that are of high standards that you would wish were committing to Florida State. I mean, we're not sitting around here wishing for a bunch of 2-stars to say yes. The point is, every time you hear about one of these recruits, it's a 4- or 5-star kid. He's going to Texas A&M. He's going to Clemson. He's going to Alabama. He's going to where? He ain't coming here because we have sucked. And that's the hard part. Like, Mike has to have this. I can't reiterate this enough. I like Mike. I like that he's cleaned this place up, man. I like that he's a hard-working coach with a real vision. He sells it well. It's been bought into by the people that are here. The assistant coaches do a good job of staying on message all the time. The day-to-day operations are better. Everything about what he's doing is right. The next part of what he has to do in order to stay here and really benefit from the fruits of this hard labor of having flipped this locker room and the toxicity is gone is that he's just got to win, because there's no way you're going to get 5-star recruits and 4-star recruits to say yes to Florida State. Too much time has passed since we mattered. Too much time has passed since we were elite. And it's tough because I agree. We have a bunch of just another guys. We do. That's what we have. We have a lot of Jags with very few exceptions. I mean, that you can hear it in my voice when I come in here and I talk to you guys about what I saw at spring football. Every day we came in, I'd be like, well, so-and-so's taking a step. And it does matter how you couch it. It does matter how you phrase it. It does matter. I think sometimes I did a poor job and maybe left some of you thinking that I think this team stinks. I don't think they stink. I just don't think they're any good. And so it's kind of like,
Well, listen, you just need the stepping stone to be the size of your foot. It doesn't have to be huge. That's what we're looking for here. Is you're
That's
just
a
looking for
good
them to
point.
be good enough that you can walk to the next place. That's what you're hoping. And they are better across the board, I think. As
that's
units of
true.
11, now I won't believe special teams till I see it. But
I think we got better there already.
maybe.
No, I mean you brought in a guy that will catch the football.
At punt returner.
Micah Pittman is going to catch the football.
Yes. But, you still have to cover and block and do all those other things. Now, you hope that once you get better players on the roster by osmosis, you're just better at special teams because the candidates you have to put out on those particular plays are better at their jobs. That's good. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still going to believe it when I see it. But the units of 11 on offense and defense, even with what we lost at edge rusher, I believe are going to be better than they were last year as a group. Not individually in some segments, but as a group. Is it good enough, though, to mix with an NIL pitch here or there?
To win over?
To win over 3 kids who are top 150 players. Whatever it is, wherever your line of delineation falls.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you personally that beyond, okay, now I'm going to remove any objectivity, all right? I'm going to remove the analysis part of what I do and the giving of an opinion that I do on a daily basis. And I'm telling you what I desperately want to see, what I'm really hoping for, because I greatly respect many of the coaches on this staff and the hard work that they've put in. I greatly respect their coaching acumen. Not all, but many. I greatly respect certainly their work ethic. And I think you would agree with this. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think they do care. I think they care about the kids. I think they care in general about the kids' well-being and getting the most out of their careers. And all. I think that's true. I believe that.
Yeah, just put it this way. If this was the group that was here in 08 or 09 and there was not the NIL world, I'd feel very confident about where things are going. The fly in the ointment for me is the money.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing all the other things correctly.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things right. So what I'm going to say here is more of a fan is I want that to be rewarded. I want all those great aspects of who they are and the work they've put in and what they've been able to do in terms of the locker room that I just alluded to and the having of a plan. When they were 0-4 last year, there is a moment to shine, and we'll look back on it forever if it works out for Mike Norvell. It really is something to behold if it works out. Now, we'll see. But when they were 0-4 and they had suffered the indignity of the program's worst loss in its history, he didn't waver. He never wavered from the day-to-day, never wavered from the same messaging that he had from the first day he got here.
He didn't turn on the players.
He didn't turn on the players in any way, shape, or form. The coaches have said publicly in articles and otherwise that he was the same guy behind the scenes that he was before he ever coached it down here at Florida State, that everything remained the same. Well, that's important because that tells you he believes in his plan. He believes in his methods. He believes in the coaches he hired to implement those. And if he radically shifted from what he had stated himself to be with the plan in place, then we would have known it was all nonsense. It was a pitch and that we really have no backbone, that there's nothing to fall back on. But instead you did. You had a guy who showed you, hey, man, I am who I am. I'm telling you, I believe this. This is going to work. We're going to ride it out. It's not working now. Am I pissed about it? And then the famous speech, and you see that come out. But I don't care about rah-rah speeches like that if I don't believe in the person giving it and I don't believe that he believes it. I do believe he believes it because his actions have shown me he does. So, damn it, I want him to win because that would then carry over. That will not only win people over, it'll win recruits over because people will then say, like, this guy's got a plan. He has stuck by it all along, and it's working. They're upwardly mobile. I want to commit to something that's upwardly mobile, that is on the cusp of taking the next step. I just want to see it. I'm a little jaded because the recruiting rankings aren't great. The numbers haven't been awesome in terms of what we've brought in terms of high-end quality. NIL has happened since he's arrived. He may have too many things stacked against him to ever get out the other side. He might. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I think we're at a crossroads. I can't say it enough. It's a very important year.
It is. And it's just, if you look at it, you're talking about the genuine nature of what he is. Like, there might be some drawbacks to his personality. Every coach has those, but he is authentic. That's the person that you experience. An
yeah.
oppressor is the guy you get behind the scenes and all that. If you look at the world as not the Matrix, but instead of those green lines, you see a stock ticker, right? It's just like all numbers and cents, right?
Yeah.
That genuine nature would lead me to believe that you could get a player on a discount to come here because they buy into him, which is important.
But you can't get enough of those to change your program around.
Of course not. You got to have some money. You got to have some. And that's where Rising Spirit, you keep doing what you're doing. Acquire the other collectives. I don't care. Whatever it is you have to do to make as much money as possible. But every dollar matters to us. I'm sorry. We are not Publix. We are Dollar General. So, well, maybe somewhere in between. Maybe Food Lion. We're Food Lion right now.
Could be Winn-Dixie.
Every coupon matters. And if Mike can get us through with 8 or 9 wins this season, whatever it is, then he might be able to get a couple of yeses for, say, I don't know, $200,000 instead of $350,000. And there's a lineman, $150,000 save that you can spend somewhere else. Because I'm looking at it as pure economics. And he's a guy who could get you those discounts, but you got to prove it. And this is it.
I was behind a woman the other day for the first time in a long time that broke out like 15 coupons. My man.
That would be ma'am. Ma'am.
Come on. What are we doing here?
You never had to go through that? Now, 15 I know is excessive, but I mean.
I haven't had to do it in a long time.
Oh, I see. So you've forgotten what it's like.
I think. But also there's a better way to do it now. It's not all this sitting around. I don't know.
Did she break out the checkbook too?
Yeah. This was 60-something, 70-something-year-old woman. Yeah.
So she wrote the check with the exact amount.
I didn't look at yes.
You were in a different lane by then?
No, yes. I waited and waited and waited. I got very frustrated. I looked up and went, okay, this is what we're doing.
How many items did you have?
3. I had 3 items. I carried them to the counter. She could have been nice enough to be like, listen, I'm old, antiquated, passed over.
Those people are saints, though, that read the room. They're like, oh, come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're walking in with 15 coupons and a checkbook, man, don't be an ass. Get out of the way.
Whoa, all right.
Get out of the way. People, we want to live. You got nowhere to be.
I give you a narrow berth, and you just said, we're widening this, baby.
Ryan just said FSU's the lady writing a check for cat food. Oh, bless our hearts. Come back, wrap it up momentarily. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186. If you're an attorney who struggles with the balance of managing your practice and practicing law, consider Lexicon as your #1 pick. From client intake to billing and all that comes in between, Lexicon doesn't miss a thing. Our comprehensive solution combines best-in-class software and services to take care of your firm's most critical challenges, automating many of the tasks that take time out of your day. It's all about giving you more of your billable hours back. And who doesn't love more revenue? No more searching for practice management that works. Lexicon marks the spot. Visit lexiconservices.com to learn what Lexicon can do for you.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Florida State football has been selected for 2 more regional broadcasts in 2022. It was announced today. Season opener against Duquesne on August 27th. Will kick off at 5 o'clock. It'll air on the ACC network. I guess it's important to know the time. It's Duquesne. It's hot as Hades.
Hey, man, if you're doing a post-game show, that's critical. That's a win. That's true. I expected 8:30 on ACC
I wouldn't spend
network.
a lot of time in that post-game show. I'd be like, listen here, people. It's Duquesne.
It's going to be a pregame show for LSU. That's what that show's going to be.
September the 16th, it's the game at Louisville. It'll be a 7 p.m. start time on ESPN.
That was either going to be 7:30, or 8. It's a Friday
night game.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah. So kickoff times for 4 of FSU's 12 regular season games are now set. Obviously, we already announced the game in Louisiana, the all-state Louisiana kickoff. Us and LSU in New Orleans, September the 4th, and then also the Florida home game on Friday, November the 25th. Those are both 7:30 starts on ABC.
Now, I am kind of excited that the Louisville game is 7 because it helps me envision, again, the post-game show work, because that could be a really important one. That could be a really fun one.
That could be. I agree with you.
There could be many super chats because everybody's just in the given mood.
He's calling out for money already.
No. It's part and parcel to winning.
Yeah. It's a celebration
That's
of
the
victory.
analytics.
Yeah, it's a celebration of victory.
Break out the scotch.
Oh, you got to get after it if we win that game on the road and move to 2-1 or 3-0. 3-0.
Oh, my goodness.
You might get maybe a heavy pour that night.
It'll be a great day at the CP the next day because you'll have a full day of college football to bask in the glow of 3-0.
Around thinking, look at these guys fighting for their lives. Well, we're 3-0.
Man, I guess we'll be 16th now. Another team lost.
How about that? Probables time. Fire it up if you would, sir.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Cincinnati's beating the bejesus out of the Cubs 11-5. They're in a rain delay, however. It's Justin Steele and Hunter Green. Yankees, Rays tonight. Nestor Cortez, Ryan Yarbrough, Rockies, Nats. Herman Marquez, Patrick Corbin, Guardians, Tigers. Connor Pilkington. Oh, get out of here. Oh, it's Connor Pilkington again. Tariq Skubal. Phillies, Braves, Aaron Nola, Kyle Wright. Royals, Twins, Daniel Lynch, Evan Smeltzer. Brewers, Cards, Eric Lauer, Adam Wainwright. Red Sox, White Sox, Michael Wacha, Dallas Keuchel. Sounds like a phrase. I can't decide. Michael Wacha, Dallas Keuchel. What do you want to
601.
Blue Jays, Angels, Kingyan Ryu, and Shohei Ohtani. Good match. Dodgers, D-backs, Mitch White, Humberto Castellanos, and Rangers, A's. I went Italian for you.
That's 2 very different cultures.
I know.
Mitch White.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mitch White and Humberto Castellanos. Yeah.
I love this country.
It's good stuff. Rangers, A's, Martin Perez, and Frankie Montas.
For Ray Liotta.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Damn it, man. Karen. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Goodbye, everybody. We'll talk to you.